Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video, a early morning start here. The sun is shining and are we on the cusp of a new stadium announcement? That's right. Cryptic Instagram messages, tweets last night from Jamie Rubin and the Rubin brothers alongside Newcastle United have fueled the fire as the Telegraph have reported on a potential announcement date as well as an increased capacity to the new stadium. Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. As I say, it is a quick one from me, sat here with my cup of tea before I head off to work. If you haven't already, and I have mentioned this 2 videos in a row now and it worked, so I'm going to mention it again. If you haven't subscribed, please go and hit the big red button. We are on 48,500. So we are just so close to 50k subscribers. I mentioned it last time. Loads of you guys pressed the button. So if you're new to the channel or you watch regularly but haven't hit the button, been doing this for close to 10 years now. If you've been watching for that long and you've not pressed it, do me the favour, help me get to 50k. That would be amazing. Hopefully you didn't watch the England game last night. I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't because by the sounds of things, it weren't very good. Tino Livramento, of anything, I would say his stock is probably going up by the fact that he's not in that England squad because people are realising how can he be left out having been one of the most informed fullbacks this season and not getting a game. It's madness. The deadline day has passed for transfers. Only joking. The first deadline day has passed, so we're now in this weird, barren wasteland for 6 days before it opens again while the Club World Cup is going on. I say that, you're just not allowed to register the players. You can still talk to them. You can still talk to the clubs. You can still put offers in. You can still buy them. You just can't register them for a week. It's weird. It's strange. I don't know why they've done it. And it doesn't sound like Newcastle are listening anyway. As reported last night by Sky Sports, that Newcastle are in open talks with Burnley for goalkeeper James Trafford. You know, it's the news that just keeps on coming, isn't it? We've had all the local press reporting this for a while now, but now it's Sky Sports' big yellow banners transfer breakdown that Newcastle are on the cusp of signing James Trafford, the goalkeeper. And the hope is, now that they've got hold of it, you know, that it really is kind of moving forward and we are going to sign the guy, you know, stop talking about it as we have done for, you know, nigh on a year. Let's get him to sign the bit of paper. What happens with Paul, Dubravka, Vlaco Dimos, John Ruddy and, well, Gillespie signed the new deal, you know, is beyond me at this point. But having a new 22, 24... having a young goalkeeper come in who could well be our goalkeeper for the next 10 years, I think is a big step. Dubravka, Pope have done us very well. I think, you know, all for me, easy for me to say, but I would say potentially past the best. Let's bring in some fresh blood to this team and bring that average goalkeeping age down and have him involved. So that's great news. But as I say, deadline day has passed, and instead the news is on the stadium and potentially going to hear, well, the hope is an announcement is soon and could well be this month in June. That's right, I am looking down at my notes now to make sure I'm getting things right. So the Rubin brothers basically started this fire by posting a bunch of cryptic tweets last night. Obviously, Rubin brothers, part owner, or Jamie Rubin himself, part owner of Newcastle United, 10% stake, or slightly higher now, actually, after buying some of Amanda Staveley's shares when she left. They are very well known in the building industry around Newcastle city centre. I'm sure they've got part owners or owners of the race course. That was a linked location of where the stadium could have been. Thankfully, it's not now. It's all of the talk is on Leazes Park. But they did a tweet last night in conjunction with NUFC. So this was NUFC who posted this on their Instagram saying, Newcastle United is a symbol of resilience, passion and community. The Reuben brothers is proud to stand alongside the historic institution as it writes its next chapter, building on legacy, driving ambition, and uniting generations of supporters. There was about 7 different posts. That was just the one that I've picked out to read you there. So that's kind of got people thinking, ooh, the Reuben brothers are piping up. Is this something stadium related? It could well not be. It could just be them trying to, what do you call it when people post on Twitter and it's just farming. It's just likes, interaction, farming. It's because they're doing it in conjunction with Newcastle United. That'll get tweeted out to, a million followers. Everyone who get Newcastle notifications will click it and go, ooh, the Reuben brothers, I'll subscribe to them as well. So there could be a little bit of that in there. But then what's followed up is the media jumping on it as well. Telegraph, as well as a few others, coming in to talk about the new stadium, as well as a potential date of announcement. So the Telegraph went in and said that they are expecting a new stadium announcement to be this month in June. We're currently on the 11th of June. It's a lot of talk about this summer is about the transfers. Could there well be, news on the stadium this summer as well? This could be a massive, massive summer if we do get the news this month. Obviously, it has taken a bit of time. Initially, the announcement was hoped to be kind of March and April. So that was fairly well publicised that they'd hoped to have something to the fans this year. And now we're in June, so they are behind schedule. So really, it should be expected any time from now. If you are already running 3 months late of an announcement, you would expect it to kind of be at any point. But I do think they've made the right choice in the way they've done it. You look at the likes of the new Manchester United Stadium, they have come out and announced it. They reckon they can't do about half of it because they haven't actually had the agreements in place for it. That was kind of the road, understood that the road Newcastle was on, and we were kind of flying through. Yeah, the council will be fine. Yeah, everything will be fine, and then kind of had a bit of a hold up. Obviously, we've been bringing in loads of new people behind the scenes, even joining the directors board, who are far more well versed in this kind of thing than maybe what the PI. Well, who am I to say? The PIF probably know a lot more than I do. But they made the decision to hold off. After having done so, as I say, Luke Edwards' Telegraph reckons it will be this month. And I think more excitingly for the fans, at an increased capacity. So the rumoured capacity had always been 60,000, which I think, we won't get into. Well, in fairness, that's the point of the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you want the new stadium? Are you excited for the new stadium? Do you hope that the announcement is this June and we can get rocking and rolling with it? 60,000. It's 60,000. Part of me is thinking, can we not just shift a few of the seats? Just crunch a few seats together, make the entire Gallagher standing, and then you could easily get in an extra 6,000 seats, even without extending it. You could make room for 6,000 seats. It just seems like we're making the move and not really, utilising why we're moving. Appreciate a big part of that is actually because they want to improve the stadium. I'm going to see San Fender this weekend. Very much looking forward to that. I remember when I went last year, they were having to convert men's toilets into women's toilets because there wasn't enough women's toilets in the stadium for a concert. And even then that didn't work because half the toilet there's like 3 cubicles, so even that wasn't working. So that's a very small niche example of why they want to improve the stadium. More space in the seating, more space in the concourse. Like the east stand is small to make your way through. If you're trying to buy a beer in there, you struggle. So yeah, there's more than just seats. But after what we saw for the Carabao Cup final, the fans lining the streets, thought to be as many as 300,000 fans came out that weekend to celebrate the winning of the cup, and you want to increase our stadium by 6,000 that's already at capacity. It's got to be more. You've got to take advantage. The only way I let them off is, and in fairness, City have done this and they've not even needed them, but what we need to do is, if we make it 60,000, well, reported 70,000 now. The thoughts are that following the Carabao Cup celebrations, Newcastle will push that pin a little bit further and look to increase to 70,000, which I think is better. I don't know if I'm overshooting it here, but I was rather close to 80,000. I want the biggest stadium in the country, and I want it to be packed with black and white shirts. Maybe I've got my black and white sunglasses on when I'm talking about that. But I think if we did do 70 and then have the ability to increase, like actually map out this, all 4 stands can be increased by an extra 5. So if we want a 5k, stick it on that stand. If you want another one, stick it on that stand. Have the ability, and then even again, have the ability to put it on once, and then have the ability and have it in the plans, in the documents, have the space available. Don't do it and then start building, well, I was going to say some pubs. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? A pub in Leazes Park. Other stuff, hotels or whatever they want to do, because, as I say, the stadium's probably the first building block of what they want this to be. And then realise, like we have done now, we can't build it any bigger. We've got enough going on in the city centre. Let's make this a stadium build that can be increased, can be further increased, can have the potential one day in 20 years to have 100,000 seats if needed. That's the sensible way to do it. Thoughts and comments down below on deadline day gone without Newcastle signing a player. Are we on the cusp of signing Trafford? Does that make you happy? And drop a like if you were hoping to see the new stadium announcement this month. And drop a like if you think 70k is enough. If not, let me know in the comments what capacity you think Newcastle should be building to. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, no doubt, plenty more transfer stuff coming this week, but I thought it was worth touching on a little bit of stadium news this morning. Busy day ahead, so I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.